Are we helping Tehran fund more terror? Iran was caught sending weapons, likely going to rebels in Yemen, the same week it was bragging about selling 2 million barrels of oil a day now that sanctions are being lifted. Steve says this is proof the nuclear deal is and was a raw deal. Steve?
Well, this shows, David, that no deal would have been better than a bad deal. This gives Iran more money for terrorism. The whole idea that they'd use it for infrastructure and kindergarten for happy kiddies is preposterous. They're just stepping up. This is a revolutionary regime. They want to dominate the Middle East, dominate the oil, and have a terror around the world. It's out there, and why Barack Obama goes along with this is one of the most bizarre episodes in diplomatic history.
Yeah. I think it's bizarre. Jessica, I'm wondering if you think it's bizarre. By the way, this
as bizarre
this is the third arms shipment that the U.S. has intercepted. A huge arms shipment. Right. That's where they're spending their money.
Well, some of it. I mean, it's a fraction of the money that they're getting from the oil, and we need to know for sure that they actually were going to rebels in Yemen before we say that that's what's going on here. But I think that
they weren't going to good guys. They weren't going to cowboys in white hats.
I totally agree, and I think that really what's happened here is the administration has prioritized, and they've said that stopping Iran from getting a nuclear weapon is the #1 priority for the region and for the world. And there's a lot of stuff that unfortunately we're just going to have to take from Iran. That said, I think that the economic snapback sanctions are going to have to be used and to be used freely. When they are certainly breaking the deal, but even flouting when they took our sailors, things like that. I think that we need to seem stronger on that front and to say, you know what, hold up here.
Okay,
we're still
another thing they're spending money on are these missile tests, which are totally in violation of UN sanctions that have been hit on them. And so they're just doing all this stuff in your face. You know?
Nuclear ICBMs. That's what we're talking about with Iran. And, they still continue to call the United States wrongfully and unjustly the great Satan. This is demonic behavior on the part of them, sowing mayhem around the world. I wish we could get out of the Middle East. I wish we could have done with it and say, enough, we have our own oil. But when Iran continues to sow mayhem in various parts of the world and threatens us, it's an issue.
John, should we scrap the treaty or the deal?
Scrap it, not because it would make us safer, but because we shouldn't be legitimizing a regime overseeing an economy that has the size of Philadelphia. The idea that left and right view Iran as a serious threat, I've never understood. That's what's the joke to me.
Well, Sabrina, another thing that they're spending on, by the way, is developing octogen, which is this highly explosive material that can be used as nuclear triggers.
Well, that definitely scares me more than apparently it scares John. And I think what's really upsetting here is that they seem to be thumbing their nose at us while we're sort of allowing them to attain more resources and have greater ability to fund, extremists. As far as I can tell, we just helped bolster Iran. We made them more financially secure and more militarily prepared. So
Rich,
I'm terrified by this.
Even if there's a snapback of our sanctions, the Europeans aren't going to snap back, are they?
Yeah, that's right. And by the way, Philadelphia terrorizes any good baseball fan or any good basketball fan, but they don't have nuclear
they never win
weapons.
Anything.
They're not pursuing nuclear weapons, and now Iran, the greatest exporter of terror in the world, suddenly has a budget of $20 billion more per year to cause mischief.
It's incredible. All right, gang, thank you very much.